It's a WesFest party!
Yes, yes, yes.
Wow. Here we
Ah,
are. Vic, I think before we do anything, let's play another song.
Another song?
Yeah.
Here we go. Kick us off, Greg.
Yeah. Go, Victor. Whoa! Wow! Welcome, as we say where I'm from, welcome y'all. And I'm speaking to all of y'all out there in listening land. I haven't had a chance to look like we used to do in all of our webinars, Victor, and see all the different places in the country where people are enjoying what we're doing. But we're gathered here. Gregg Bissonette sitting right over here. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Gregg, Mr. Gregg.
We got Victor Wooten sitting right over there. And here in a beautiful lavender all the way around, our scholarship winner, which we'll talk a good bit about later, but Alex Polydorof with two Fs by the way. Thank you, sir. And our special guest headliner, a guy, I always credit people like him. There are a few of them in LA because they were so busy that I made a good living just getting the gigs that they didn't have time to do. And that's Jimmy Haslip over there.
Yeah! Jimmy.
So, we're here. We're celebrating WesFest 2022. And Wes Wehmiller, we'll talk about him. We're here to live his legacy and be a part of his legacy. And through Wes and his parents, have created the most wonderful scholarship that the Bass Department, that we award as an individual department award. And Alex, of course, is our winner this year, and you'll be getting to hear, it doesn't sound like I went to college too long, but you're going to have the pleasure of hearing Alex in just a few minutes. Victor, I need to hear you say something, because before he does it, when the camera goes to him, it's because he just pushed a finger. If you were here last year, you saw Victor Wooten do the most amazing, it's almost like a circus act, and I say that with all respect, but he is doing the camera switching and programming and playing this music. So I don't know if y'all can applaud out there loud enough for us to hear it, but he definitely deserves a round of applause. My partner in crime, Victor Wooten.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, it's so good to be here. Hello, everyone out there. It's great to be here with you all, especially for this great cause. We're all fans of Wes and the Wehmillers, and we hope that if you aren't already, after tonight, you're going to know who Wes Wehmiller is, and you'll be a fan, and you'll be able to help the cause, donate some money, so that we can keep giving wonderful scholarships here at Berklee to people like our good friend Alex here that you're going to be blown away by. But we do this every year, thanks to the parents of the great Wes Wehmiller, who are so generous in donating their time and their love so that people like Alex can grow, and we keep the love and the music alive in Wes's name. Yes.
Some great guests in the audience as well, Victor. We're going to be, I don't know what the proper Zoom term is, but we're going to yank them out of the audience and get them to join us in a virtual stage. But one thing that those of y'all out there that caught a bunch of our webinars, one thing I love to do, and I'm going to ask you one question in the audience, and I want you to type in 1 or 2 words as your answer, but I want it to be so fast. I'm going to try to keep up with the locations, but right now I want you to type into the chat. Go ahead and take a second to open it. Go ahead. I feel you. Some of y'all haven't been on Zoom in a while. You think things are back to normal, but well, won't even go there. But what I want you to do right now is type in where you're watching from. Austin, Texas, Chicago, Hampton Beach, Virginia, Vermilion, South Dakota, Montreal, LA, Cambridge, Richmond, Tampa, Berkeley, Long Island, Chicago, Buffalo, Captiva, Florida, Media, Pennsylvania, Turkey, California, we're right across in 1140, Clinton, Canada, South Carolina, wow. Sarasota, Boston, Massachusetts, Newton, Massachusetts, that's close to home, Brookline, Massachusetts, Jakarta, wow. France, Jakarta, I believe that's in Louisiana? Louisiana.
Yeah. LA. L.A., Lower Alabama.
Yeah. Where is it?
I think Jakarta's near Monroe, Louisiana, isn't it?
Monroe.
Monroe, with an accent on the Mon.
Yeah. If y'all don't see Gregg Bissonette, I know it sounds like Winnie the Pooh, but that's a whole nother story that we may get a chance to tell you in a few. But before we do that, I just want to jump right in this and say thank you to you all for being here. And thank you for helping us carry on as we've been doing year after year, building the scholarship and just making young people's dreams come true so they can have the careers and the experiences that Wes had and that the people in this room, Victor Wooten, Jimmy Haslip, Gregg Bissonette, we've had some wonderful times and a great education and solid foundation in music will help ensure the way. So we're going to talk to some more people in a little while, but I want to introduce my friend who I knew well before Berklee, Alex Polydorof, with 2 F's. And Alex, I met, how many years before you came to Berklee?
We might have met in the summer of 2018.
Yeah.
For the first time.
Yeah, and you impressed me from the get-go. Well, I mean, you did write like a 4-page email the first time, but
Studied all the records, all the Dizzy, all the Paquito,
the research you had
all
done.
the Rippingtons.
It impressed me, and it humbled me. But then watching you through the years, and not at Berklee, and then this young man went out and worked hard, saved money, got a scholarship to come here, and came to the department, and has been I won't say you're the only one. There's quite a few of you out there tearing it up, but you're doing it the Alex way, and we love that. And so,
oh man, and the legacy of Wes, man.
Yeah,
the legacy of Wes.
Yeah. And we'll talk about the criteria for winning that scholarship in a little bit, which will, we'll try not make your head swell up too much. But why don't we go ahead and let's hear some music.
All right.
What you got?
This is a tune I have been working on for the past couple of weeks as I've been spending the summer in LA, touring, playing live, playing recording sessions that this scholarship has helped me do. And this song is called Wes Goes West, about, both of our journeys, mine, maybe 15 years later, out to the West Coast from Berklee, and finding a voice in bass and in the music community out there, and so this is about both of our journeys out west. West Goes West, and first track I've fully produced, using some MIDI, getting synthesizer chops. So it's been a real blessing to work on this with
we
Wes's
call that
presence.
a multifaceted skill set.
Yeah, working on developing them, and what a beautiful occasion to develop an important skill set of production, all around. So yeah, West Goes West. Here we go. And thanks, Paul and John, if you're out there, all the love. So.
Liftoff, the clock has started.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Wow. Alex is, man, every time I hear you, you throw something new at me. And you were even taking the track outside in between sound checks and tweaking it even.
And then drums on the train coming here from Atlantic City with my Moog set up on the train, figuring out how to do patches and, recording synths on the train and sound effects on the, learning automation on the flight from Seattle 4 days ago. I learned, you guys taught me how to mix, putting all, things going back and forth and all those Bass Extremes records. Just found out about that. So, it's been an amazing experience producing this, and, there hasn't been a moment that, Wes and his spirit have not been with me in this real growth experience. So it's just, it's a special thing, man. Really special.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Victor, I want you to say a few words only because I need to go into the audience and pull some people up here to talk about Wes and to talk about the scholarship and what we're doing here. I will say this is the first time that we've done it. Well, we did it remotely last year, Victor from his studio in Tennessee and the scholarship winner from another stage, but here we're in the bass department. We're, as the shirt says, we're in the Berklee Bass Department in one of our classrooms that we have outfitted with multi-camera technology. And I will say this, adversity and diversity teaches us so much, but the adversity that we've encountered the last couple of years, without it, I guess there's a silver lining. We wouldn't be doing this. We wouldn't be able to reach Turkey and all these other countries with a WesFest. Typically, over the last few years, up until last year, or the year before last, the concert happened in Los Angeles. And it was an exodus from here to go out to LA and at the Roxy or the Baked Potato. And we had special headlining guests. And Jimmy Haslip, who you'll get to hear in a few minutes, was one of those. And when we started talking about this year, Paula and John Wehmiller, Wes's parents, Jimmy was at the top of that list. Let's see if we can get him back. And sure enough, it all worked out. So you'll be hearing more from Jimmy in a second. Victor.
Yes, sir, Steve? Mr. Bailey?
Oh, he only calls me Mr. Bailey when we're at Berklee. Why is that? Since you're a performance scholar in residence, which is a much loftier title than chair of the bass department.
I hear boss in one of them, and I hear esteemed guest in another.
Yeah.
But y'all are my space, so they just don't matter too much.
Yeah, well, I get to do less. I think that's why I get to call you boss, because I get to do less. And sometimes, less is much more fun. But anyway, I'm totally honored to be here again for this wonderful occasion. As I said before, this is a really, really special thing that, of course, the parents of Wes have turned kind of a sad story into a wonderful way to keep Wes's spirit alive. Through people like Alex and people who have been here before. And it's a chance for us, of course, to remember Wes, but to get to do it with people that we love. I haven't seen Mr. Jimmy Haslip in so long, and I'm so happy that you're here. And my good friend, let's see if I've got Gregg here. My good friend, Mr. Bissonette is here.
Thank you, Vic. I'm honored to be here, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's great to have you here.
I believe Gregg was just out touring with a star.
A star, Ringo Starr and his all-star band, one
With-
last. And
a
before
star with
that,
two
with
Rs.
Bass Extremes.
Oh yeah, we were out on the road together,
Yeah.
and that's why those songs were so tight
That's
there
right.
at the beginning, probably. Vic, look at the screen over here. Amazingly,
wow.
I'm going to introduce John and Paula and John, Wes's parents, and without their spirit and their determination and their love, not only for their son, but their love for Berklee and love of education and love of people, we continue this year after year, and it's just so amazing to see you. It's just always great to see you, no matter where. And above you, you can't see my screen, but Danny Morris is up there, and he's one of our esteemed faculty members who was a professor, a teacher of Wes, and if you study with Danny, you become a friend of Danny, and I know they hung out a bunch, and I would maybe a good bit of our audience knows Wes by name and knows WesFest, but I'd love it if you either of you want to talk about Wes or talk about the scholarship or talk about all the many dozens of concerts that we've done, anything.
Paul and John, I yield to you. First.
Well, as always, it's humbling and uplifting and a little bit sad, but always enjoyable to be in the company of all these wonderful musicians, honoring Wes and doing all the good things that the bass department does. So we continue the spirit of Wes through this scholarship. I think maybe Danny, you'll remember this quote, but Danny and Paula has said this many times, that Wes often said that when he was done with his touring life, he would want to come to Berklee and teach. And he did visit Berklee a few times and joined Danny in doing workshops and things. But as we've said, he's teaching now through this scholarship, and that to us is very, very special. So I think that says it all.
Mama Way.
So I want to say to Alex that tune just took us right across the country
Yep.
in 1993.
93, fall
I
of
mean, I
93.
could feel in your music, Wes, on the north rim of the Grand Canyon and out in the country and going across the country. And no cell phones then. We had no idea where he was for a couple of weeks. I called Brian Beller in Washington, in LA, and just said, have you heard from him? And not yet. But it was a great journey, and one that really formed a lot of us in many ways, including his parents. So thank you, Alex.
Yeah, thank you, Paul and John. It's been such a blessing to connect with you all, and yeah, just look forward to maintaining that connection for life. And I'm so grateful to have y'all's support and to have the support of your son and his spirit with me always. So yeah, I just thank and love you all. So yeah,
Thank you, Alex.
Awesome. Hey, Alex, do you eat salmon?
I do. I love yeah, raw. Raw and sushi. Yeah, it's my favorite. It's
Do you
my
like
favorite.
do you like steamed broccoli?
Steamed
Alex?
broccoli?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, steamed broccoli or cauliflower. Or you
Okay.
could, my mom bakes it nicely with a bunch of
And
spices.
a soda water with a
I
lemon.
love soda water. San Pellegrino. Yeah, that's me.
Okay, well and you're in the family. That's
That's it.
that was the
Those are
meal.
my favorites. Yeah.
That was the
Only
meal.
missing my, my single espresso shot in the morning and maybe one around 4. But all the other favorite beverages and foods were checked.
Well, it's always incredible moment year after year after year, and I think of so many students who were in your shoes, Alex, and continue playing. Everybody is gigging, and which would just make Wes feel unbelievable, and I know he does, and it makes John and Paula feel wonderful, and it's just one of the great things that we have in the bass department that you all set up. I believe the year that Jimmy, you joined us, it was at the Knitting Factory, right, Paula?
Yes.
Yep.
You were with Alan Holdsworth and Chad Wackerman, and I believe it was Steffi Willis. Is that
Yes. Yep. 2009.
Yeah, it was good. It was loud, Jimmy.
Get it though. That was just an amazing experience, a very humbling experience. I love meeting you all, and I hold you all in my heart. I think of Wes, and it was an honor to be there with Alan, who's no longer with us as well now, and Chad and Alan Pasqua.
Right.
I felt like it was a nice band to be there, even though we were loud, fun music, and we could honor the spirit of Wes.
It was awesome. Fred was always one of my favorite tunes, and to hear it live finally, that was just great.
I'll always thank you for having me there.
That was special.
It was so nice to meet you all in person too. I wish you were here.
I just wanted to share one quick anecdote and then something that I asked Steve if I could share, and he said that would be great. So Wes was just a wonderful student. He was rather taciturn in class. We didn't really connect verbally, but in survey of bass styles class, Wes was a focused listener, and then one day, as students know who take survey of bass styles, you do a presentation on a bass player that's inspired you, and Wes chose 2 to do. He did Anthony Jackson. The tune was "So Not to Worry," which is just an incredible track. And then he did Tommy Shannon from Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble. And Wes got up in front of the room and he played his Kubicki bass. And I noticed for the first time some of the most beautiful hands that I've ever seen play a bass. Every chapter of Victor Wooten's The Music Lesson was alive and well. Every attribute of life and health and hope, it was all there in his hands. And we became, as Steve said, we became friends. and that friendship grew. And Wes would, when Wes toured with Duran Duran, he would call from places all over the world. I'm thinking, Paul, that must have been an expensive phone call back in the day.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Just glad to hear from him.
Yeah, I was always glad to hear from him. And in fact, I went to a senior recital today, and one of the songs the band did was Rio. And that song.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And Greg, I know I was reading in your discography that you played on a Duran Duran record. Is that true?
It was called Pop Trash 2000.
Oh my
and it was
goodness.
a really cool
Yeah.
song called Mars Meets Venus. And we did that at A&M, which is now Henson, down in Hollywood. And that was super fun. And yeah, I'm a big fan, as everyone is. That was a real honor.
That's great. See, thanks for your website, Greg. It's all this
great.
stuff, man.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, but I thought when Steve asked me to say a few words about Wes, I think the best way to describe Wes in this context is to hear him play that bass. And you already did. Paula, that first track that was on, what can you give the name of that?
That was a recording at V8 or at Hard
Ordinary.
Rock Live. It was a VH1 recording in Chicago, I believe, in 2000, and he was playing the bass in that tune.
Yeah.
Ordinary World, one of the
Yeah.
greatest
Right.
Duran Duran songs. Yeah.
Okay. That was dynamite.
Yeah.
But if everybody has headphones on, which I think many of you do, or you're listening through speakers, I just wanted to play 1 minute. Paul and John know this tune just knocks me out. I've loved this song. I've cried to this song. It's a singer-songwriter that Wes befriended in LA, Paula, right? Tom
Yes.
Langford.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I was reading a little bit about the lyrics to the song earlier, and I guess Tom was in Europe somewhere, maybe Paris. And he was just on the road and hooked up with some people and just played music and ate something very simple, maybe peanut butter, something very simple. And he wrote this tune, Simple Days. And the way Wes graced the entire song, but I'll just play a minute of it. And I think you'll all feel Wes's heart. Wes loved music so much. He devoured music as a student. He respected it, and he knew the magic that it could produce to people. And so here's a taste of this. Paul and John, I can see you, so I'm going to hit play and just give me a thumbs up if the audio is working. I think this should work, Steve, as you've made me co-host. So I'm just going to play it.
She walked a river line where she lifts me in and out of time. Always there, I dream a while. Simple days, those were the simple days. Those were the simple days. Those were the simple days. Just lay me down. Those were the simple days. Those were the simple days. Those were the simple days. Just lay me down. Those were the simple days. Those were the simple days. Those were the simple days. Just lay me down. Those were the simple days.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow,
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful bass playing.
so beautiful. Oh, there was one bass fill in there. I'm going to get the recording tonight and transcribe it, and then I want to see how Jimmy Haslip fingers it, because and we'll talk about that in a minute. Thank you, all of you so much. And I know there are a lot of other people out there who have been a big part of Wes's life and a big part of his legacy as well. And we just want to say thank you to everybody out there who's helped support. And I look at the names, and in many cases, it's the usual suspects in love. And it's just great to see a lot of the same people year after year helping us. And it's great to see new people all over the world enjoying Wes's music and his spirit that lives on through us, and made me jump out of my seat. Vic said we got to stay seated or else the cameras won't work right. But that first song I had to jump. I'm sorry, Victor. But a few years ago there was a beautiful video made of Wes, and I'd love to show that, because you get a picture inside not only his music, but for me at least, him as a person. And I love seeing it every year, and it's inspirational. And we've had a few technical difficulties here, and one of them is playing the video, but we've got it all sorted out. And Danny, can you reciprocate and just tell us that the volume is okay, and we will watch it together. I'm gonna take the whole screen over with the video so the audience can enjoy it full screen, and we'll catch up with y'all later. May have you back up, but you're not leaving before Jimmy Haslip plays, are you, Danny? I mean, I know you're a bass player. You got gigs all the time, but I see the bass back there. Anyway, thank you all so much, and as I figure out how they've changed a few things here in Zoom, but I think I've got it figured out. And here comes the video.
We are very fortunate to have joining us on this song the great Jimmy Haslip, as well as Mr. Alex Polydorof. If you all don't mind, we're just gonna have a little fun. Here's a song for you. This song is called The Cool Groove. You got it, Jim.
Woo, Victor! We arranged, what's that song called? That's from one of our old albums. Cool Groove.
That's the cool groove,
Yeah,
Mr. Bailey.
that was from, I can't remember the name of the album. I can't remember the decade we recorded it. But I remember who one of the bass players was.
just one of them.
Just
right?
one of them. I remember
Just
who
one
the
of 'em.
drummer was. He's
Oh,
sitting
yeah.
right over here. That was Gregg Bissonette all the
That's
way
right.
back then.
That's right, Mr. Gregg.
Anyway,
What do you want to do, Steve?
Jimmy, we could not let Jimmy jump in that one after our little rehearsal today. We just got to get Jimmy Haslip in this. But another thing we did a clinic earlier today, and somehow it morphed into a ska version of a jazz classic. Y'all feel like doing that again?
Let's go.
Yeah, well, have we heard enough from Gregg Bissonette? I think Gregg could set us up.
Okay, well, usually for those jazz enthusiasts out there, this is a 3/4 time waltz, but we're going to play it in 4/4, 44 years, 4/4 with a groove like this.
Yeah. Hey, y'all, I dropped that link into the chat, and hope y'all can click on it and help support some of our students through Wes's memory and legacy. That's cool, Vic. You got all the cameras going.
What song is this? Oh, yeah.
Jimmy Haslip. Dang. I ain't gonna follow that.
He hold.
I
See,
think we ought to throw Alex in after that.
he holds it backwards too, man. How he do that? How he do it? Hold it upside down.
Yeah, put the camera over there. We got to talk about him for a second.
How he do that?
I don't know if y'all noticed, but something's wrong over there.
But it sounds
It
so
is
right.
so right. Man, Jimmy, I remember the first time I heard you play on Gino Vanelli's Brother to Brother. And I tried to learn those pentatonic lines or and it just never felt right. I'm thinking, how does he doing that? And it wasn't until I moved to LA and saw you play that your low string, well, everything's backwards. Like basically you're playing like playing in front of a mirror. Like if I'm playing in front of a mirror and Yeah, but Vic, look, when he goes high, his hands go low.
All I know is I like it. That's all I know. I like it, whatever it is.
I love it.
I can't play nothing after that. I can't play nothing after that. Woo.
I thought Jimi Hendrix was the only one.
They must all be named, all the good ones named Jimmy.
Jimmy, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Jimmy Page.
Didn't see Jimmy Page do that.
Jimmy Carter.
Didn't Jimmy Carter?
He played Jimmy Fallon.
He played for Peanuts. Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Well, now we're getting serious. Jimmy Garrison.
There we go. There we go.
Jimmy Earl.
Oh,
Yeah.
we talking.
Jimmy Smith.
Jimmy Smith.
He
Oh,
plays some kick bass.
oh my goodness.
Jimmy Stewart.
What song is this?
I want to hear from Alex.
You want to hear from Alex?
Yeah.
Come on, Alex. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah.
Wow. Jimmy Haslip. Alex Polydorof. Vic.
Yes, Steve.
Gregg Bissonette. What year did we first record together?
How long ago was it, Greg?
91, 89? What was it? It was 30 years. Where'd that voice come from?
That was Jack, the sound guy knows.
Hey, we should give a shout out to Jack, definitely. Jack's in 1Y3, for those of you who don't know, which is one of our teaching rooms. And we ran snakes, which is an audio term for a whole bunch of cables, out of one window across a parking lot into this room.
Snakes.
Yeah, we violated some Boston law, I'm sure. But I got to leave right when we're done, just in case.
Yeah.
But Jack's back there mixing and doing a great job. And down here you've seen somebody sitting in front of us, and I'm gonna let you introduce yourself, Anthony.
That's Anthony.
Yeah.
What's your last name, Anthony?
Rock-
That's a cool name. That's
Rockazella.
a cool name, Rockazella. That's the
Anthony
name.
Rockazella.
That's the name of a band right there. What band you in? I'm in the Rockazellas.
Rockazilla.
Yeah, Rockazilla.
Big Bootsy.
That's right. That's like Godzilla on
But-
steroid.
But Anthony works.
Bootzilla, Rockazilla.
Anthony's also a student. He's what we call a work study student, and it's the best job in the world because he works at our front desk in the bass atrium. And I told him, I said, this may be the only job you have in your life where you get paid to practice. And I said, if I walk by and we don't have anything going on, and I don't see a bass in your hand and you're doing some kind of work, then you won't be able to tell your grandkids one day, back in the day, I got paid to practice. Not many people in this room got paid to practice.
You've heard of pay to play. This is paid to play.
Awesome.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you for your help.
Yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Well, I think it's about that time. It is that time. It's 9 o'clock, and we thought we'd go about 90 minutes. Want to thank everybody for showing up and clicking on the link and enjoying us, and we appreciate all the comments in the chat. It's helped us make it better, and don't throw Jack, our sound man, under the bus for that track being too loud. I'm gonna take the blame for that right here in front of. Well, it was Jack's fault. Never mind. No, yeah, we've had a lot of technical challenges today, and maybe that was one of them. But thanks to your comments out there, we got it all worked out. Don't tell Alex what I did to him, please. I don't want him to change my grades. Wait a minute, I'm the one who changes his grades. Anyway, Vic, you feel like playing one more?
Let's do it.
Are we going to call this an encore?
Well, you the chair. You can
All right,
call it whatever you want.
Everybody, y'all look in the chat, and I'm going to show you the way that we learned years ago to clap. And it's a KLP, and you do it with the first finger, second finger, and the third finger. It fits right there. And KLP is short for clap. So if I just go, yeah, and look at all those claps. So if y'all want to give us some, a capital KLP. So give us some, show us some love, and we may be able to convince Jimmy to do one more.
Yeah, let's do
Here
one
they
more
come.
with us.
Clap, clap, one clap. Come on, great
look at
set.
that.
Love it. Sandro is like, oh, okay, I got to go home. Hey, I want to reach out. I also want to thank Sandro. Sandro Scoccia, you see his name floating by in the chat, and he's the assistant chair of the bass department, and he certainly helps make wonderful things happen. In all ways, in technical ways, he saved the day yesterday or a couple days ago in the whole testing process. He's so technologically minded, he was able to fix a problem just about before it started that would have slowed the whole college down. Thank you, Sandro. Much appreciated. I know we've got some people from Berklee out there watching tonight. I want to say thanks to y'all and thanks for supporting us and letting me experiment with this technology and finding ways to bring the world inside of Berklee and bring Berklee outside to the world. And through events like this, we do it, we love doing it, and we love meeting new people, seeing new students, and seeing alums all over the world. So what do y'all feel like playing?
It's been pretty great of us all to come together like this, hasn't
Oh, wow. And wait a minute. We said earlier that Gregg plays with Ringo Starr in the Ringo Starr All-Star
And the
Band.
Rockefellas.
it? Rockefellas too.
And we will eventually. But Gregg has learned all of those Ringo beats from Ringo. And I'm feeling one of those.
Let's do it.
What do you want to play, Greg? Let's hear a beat and see if anybody
Let's
out there
see.
type into the chat just from this beat if you know what song it is.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody sing along. Here come on, flat top, pick up, grooving up slowly. He got juju up, oh, he won't holy roller. He got hair down to his knee. Got to be a joker, he just do what he please. He wear no shoe shine, he got toe jam football, he got monkey finger, he shoot Coca-Cola, he say, I know you, you know me. One thing I can tell you is you've got to
Come on,
be
everybody.
free. Come together right now over me. Victor Wooten.
Who's jumping in after that? Jimmy Haslip. What do you think, Alex? You know this one? I like those extended fingerings. Do that again. Close up those extensions. Hey Vic, I'm feeling something. I can't really explain it. It's going back in my childhood. Right here.
What are you feeling, Steve?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The chair of the department, Mr. Steve. Hey, what you got for that, Greg? Come on, Greg.
Here we go. Hip back production. He got walrus gumboot. He got no sideboard. He won spider cracker. He got feet down below his knees. Hold you in his armchair. You can feel his disease. Come together. Over me. Everybody at home, come together right now.
Jimmy Haslip, Jimmy Haslip, Jimmy Haslip. Victor Wooten, Victor Wooten, Victor Wooten. Gregg Bissonette, Gregg Bissonette, Gregg Bissonette. Alex Alex Polydorof. Alex Polydorof. Alex Polydorof.
Mr. Steve Bailey. Come on, y'all, clap out there for Mr. Wes Wehmiller.
Yes. We'll see you all
Thank you.
next year. Thank you. Good night.